Welcome to part two. We're joined by Kent, my good pal from Belfast. Women love him, men want to play snooker with him. He's been with me since day dot, like Terry Chappendama. How do you think YouTube's going at the moment, Kent, with all these everybody having YouTube channels and what do you think about it? What do you think about it all?
I think when you do something like this, you need to have a background on it. You need to have a background knowledge. You need to have knowledge as a fan. You need to have knowledge as a broadcaster. You need to have personality. What I see a lot of is a lot of people coming on and creating these platforms and not being themselves and trying to be like you're very unique. You have a unique personality. There's people there like people from like this platform coming on your channel and starting their own platforms. I don't think they're good enough. I actually don't even think a lot of them are good enough to be even on this channel, never mind set up their own platform, because I don't think they're boxing people and I don't think they have the knowledge. So I think you need to have knowledge and you need to be unique. You need to have something that is slightly different. Like this channel, when you started it, was slightly off center. It's off piece. It's unique. It has that. It's organic. A lot of these other guys that will start off at IFL, then they'll go somewhere else. Then they'll start their own. And then someone else will go on theirs. Then they'll start their own. Then somebody else will go on theirs. Then they'll go out on their own. I think a lot of it is all absolutely crap, to be honest with you. I think I just think it's boring. I don't think there's the creativity there either. So listen, I come on the channel because I enjoy it. I am a loyal type of sod. If I started a YouTube channel and I was getting 10 views a week, that's 10 views you could be getting. So that's how I feel. I'm not sure everybody else feels that way, but that's just me. And if I'm going to do something, the content's going to be good. I'm not going to go on and do videos and say nothing in them. That they're going to be good. So for me, I'm loyal. If I was to start a channel and I was getting, as I say, 10 views a week, I would feel slightly guilty that could be potentially 10 views you could be getting.
Well, thank you very much, Kent. Okay, we'll give Big Ron a shout out. Big Ron, fight zone, or is it shite zone? What is it? Which one are we fighting on, Dennis? Fight zone or shite zone? Big Ron's out there in. Do you know when you go to Thailand, do you fly to Jeddah first? Because he was landing in Jeddah with Big Max. Big Max there taking free seats up on plane. Oh. Oh, so they're out there. I don't know what Dennis has got going out there, but he has to be out at country all the time, doing it, Dennis? So Big Max in tow. Uh, they're trying to make the George Fox fight for Max, but I think Max has got problems fighting in UK with boards, so maybe they might be putting Max and George Fox on in Jeddah. Sorry, in Thailand. So let's see. But Max will have his work cut out with George Fox, I think. I do. But we're going to
He's
see. We're going to
he's
see.
not good enough to fight George Fox, Russell.
Well, Max thinks he is because George hasn't got a knockout, has he? But he's
Doesn't
also
matter.
been Jabbar's sparring partner for quite a few years now, hasn't he? Wow. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's have a look what we've got here. Adam Booth. Go on, Ken. Do it. Go on.
Go to Adam Booth. He's the best. The Dark Lord.
Go to Adam Booth. He's the best. The Dark Lord. Right, Adam Booth's there on Talksport, sticking it to Roberto Smith and the British Boxing Board of Control. So I'm Team Adam Booth again now. What do you think to that, Ken? Regarding the
I,
Eubank situation, there's no consistency regarding that Chavez fight that got pulled against Adam Azim, and then Eubank Ben. That didn't get pulled, did it, Roberto? What do you think to that? And should Roberto Smith sort it out, be consistent, and give Gary Sykes his belt back?
I think it's an absolute disgrace that the board now are investigating Eubank Jr. for a sauna,
After
basically
taking 350 grand off him.
in a sauna bag and taking 350,000 off him. But the board actually had allowed for promoters to have a rehydration clause or no rehydration clause. So it's a real contradiction that the board are meant to be there to help the fighter and look after the fighter's well-being. They didn't do that. The board, you know what? The board actually should be fined for that, because they should be the one paying the fine, because they allowed that clause to go through.
Yeah.
So they're actually to blame for it. If I was Eubank Jr. and I was his management team, I would actually be sending the board an invoice for that 350,000 or whatever it was that he gets fined for the sauna suit. I would actually send them an invoice for it, because it was actually their fault. I would actually go to court over it. I would take the board to court over that. I think they would be able to win that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Where's Terry Harper go now? Does it look like Matchroom have parked it up until they get that Sheffield show going? But where's Terry Harper heading now? We don't hear anything about her now. We don't see any interviews or anything. I know. Ryan Rhodes is looking after her career, and he should know what he's doing. I mean, he's probably one of the best fighters to never win a world title, isn't he? Really, from this country. But there's like a silence around her, isn't there? Really now. Do you think her heart's in it, or she's just not bothered about doing any PR? What do you think?
It's not that her heart's not in it. You know, she has come through a lot of setbacks in the last lot of years. She
Yeah,
had that brutal knockout to Alicia Baumgardner, a knockout that I would have said, after that, don't ever fight again, because that was a really bad knockout, really bad. And she's come back and she's won obviously a couple of belts. She's kept herself obviously taken over. She's lost a few, but she's still winning titles.
yeah.
She still sells adequate amount of tickets, but she's not on. She's not on TV.
Okay.
She's not on a big platform. So if you're not on a big platform, it's going to be really difficult.
It's going to be very difficult, isn't it, if you're not on a big platform? But Terry Harper will be on that show, Dave Allen, and probably a couple of other Dave Allen's fighters. So let's hope they can get some tickets. So, but if they want to sell Sheffield Arena now, which shows 10,000 people, they're going to have to get opponents in for Terry Harper and the White Rhino, aren't they? It's going to have to be a good opponent. But if they don't do loads of tickets, what are they going to do? Give them all away? I don't know. Help for Heroes usually is a good one for Eddie, or fire service. I mean, I remember when I worked for Dennis taking two books down to Edlington Fire Station and walking in, and they went, "Oh, I'm not going there." One person out of 200 tickets turned up at Dennis's show. Dennis said, "Did you take them down there?" I went, "Yeah, I've dropped him off." There's only one fireman turned up with his chick, and they left early. So sometimes you can't give boxing tickets away. It's an hard sport. And there ain't a lot of money about it at the moment. And all these people saying Sheffield's a big seller and that. Well, Dave Allen's from Doncaster, not Sheffield. So DN12 is not S60, whatever, S60 plus whatever postcode. It's DN12. It's 20 mile away. So I don't know really, but hey ho. Eddie Hills, the Iceman. He keeps coming out, going on about Anthony Joshua this, Anthony Joshua that. We don't hear no about other certain fighters like Lawrence Okoli. He doesn't seem to get his flowers, but and his next generation, all we're hearing about is Anthony Joshua constantly on TalkSport, day in, day out. Why is that, Kent? And why are they still talking Joshua Fury? Why don't they just get Joshua in with somebody? And I'm sick of hearing about Joshua from Eddie. He's shot to shit. What? Over to you, Kent.
Well, that's probably part of the main reason why I unsubscribed from TalkSport. I'm sick to death of every day these, what would you even call them? They're not boxing media. They're not pundits. These boxing cheerleaders talking about Fury Joshua. If Fury and Joshua was out my backyard, I would close the blinds. I have zero interest in Joshua now. I had basically had zero interest in Joshua after he got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. That for me was that Joshua has never recovered from that. Like he hasn't recovered from getting absolutely smacked up by Andy Ruiz. Fury now, I'm bored of it. I'm just sick of Fury. I thought Fury last week on Soccer Aid was an absolute disgrace. So he was. I'm sick to death of him. I'm sick to death of his PR stunts. I'm sick to death of all the mental health talk. That I'm just sick of it all. It's the whole
Mental
Tyson
health, that's
Fury.
the biggest load of rubbish ever. He never had mental health issues. If he did have, why didn't you take Mick Hennessy on in court? Why did Fury settle out of court for 1.5 million if he had it a watertight case? Because Mick Hennessy were going to expose all the mental health knackers and all the wild boar bollocks, and Fury shit his pants, basically. That's what happened. But nobody wants to put it on him, do they, these YouTubers? So Mick Hennessy can't talk about it, but a lot of people know what went on. The mental health thing is a load of rubbish. Everybody knows it. That's what winds me up.
The sooner he actually properly retires and gets out of boxing, the better.
Going
Honestly,
nowhere, mate. They're just going to come out and fight once a year till he's 40 and just take millions out of pot. You know, he's going to get his stupid dad to beat the drum and this and that. But it's become boring now, isn't it? I'm fed up of seeing him and Isaac Lowe. Yeah, we've just been for a run. Where from one pub to fucking next after a fry up? Come on. Isaac Lowe, aka Bamba Gascoigne. Oh my God.
get him
So,
a bar of soap.
hey,
Get him a bar of soap.
bar of soap. We need summer. Ah. Right, can Dillian White beat Atoma? And if Atoma beats Dillian White, does that mean we can say he's world class? Because he's still not got a live dog on his record if he beats Dillian White, has he? Pushing 38-year-old. What? How old was Vac? He was 40-odd-year-old. So Atoma for me is another Michael Grant. Do you remember when everybody were doing a two-hander over Michael Grant? And then they put him with Lennox Lewis. How many fights did he have before Lennox Lewis? 30-odd one, you know.
The fight before Lennox Lewis, he was actually dropped heavily by Andrew Gallotta, and he got a really, really long count and one of them knockdowns. So the cracks were starting to appear with Michael Grant. And what actually happened was that they knew then that they knew all along Grant couldn't fight. But at that time, American boxing was fixated with having the world heavyweight champion being American.
31 and how he was.
And there was Michael Grant, fit at the bill, undefeated, athletic, good personality, great story, looked the part. Listen, there had been reports now that Grant, they could only get him certain type of sparring partners because he was actually getting dropped multiple times in sparring. And as I said there, that the Gallotta fight exposed that, and it was basically right. Get him in with Lewis now, cash him out, get what we've put into him, and move him on. And you've seen in the obviously the Lennox Lewis fight, it was easy really for Lennox.
Okay, well, I look at Dillian White, the can man. Anybody who wants it can get it, or as long as they're over 40 with COVID. And now he's fighting a guy 20, approaching 21. Fair enough. But he's only took that fight really because he's getting paid, and they're not going to risk him with Joshua in case he cheats again. So it looks to me like they're feeding him to Atoma, and then they're going to sail him off. He might have something in a contract that says he's due another fight for a couple $100,000, and that'll be it. He's lower than a gatekeeper. Well, he's lower than a snake's belly, isn't he? But technically, 4-time drug cheating combat sport. But He's a gatekeeper, in my opinion. He's lower than a gatekeeper. What do you think? I mean, Dillian White, what has he ever won? A vacant British against a 20 stoner, Ian Lewinson. That's it. That's the Dillian White story. The end. Dillian White has now left the building. I don't know. Am I harsh? Am I too harsh, Ken, on the
No,
can?
it's facts. It's facts. You know it. Dylan White's career has been marred with drug testing controversy. Uh, to be honest with you, where's the B sample? Remember Frank Warren used to say, "Where's the B sample?" Well, now he's headlining one of his career. You know, he's headlining his show. But to be honest with you, I have never seen a heavyweight out there make as much money as Dylan White and be as bad as bloody awful as him.
Yeah, I am.
Awful.
Okay. This is from Lindsay, and I'm assuming by your picture that you sent me, you and your fella, that you're a woman, unless it's off your husband, and he's called Lindsay and you're called something else. But it says, Porky, how many cocks can Sam Jones get in his mouth at once? Well, he's got Eddie's in there, Eddie Hills. He's got Bricktops in there. He's got Joshua's, Conor Ben's. I mean, he's come out now saying Conor Ben will definitely win rematch against Eubank. We'll come to that in a minute. He's got AJ's in there, and he's got Turkey's in there. He's praising Turkey. So, how many cocks can he fit in? I don't know. What do you think?
I think as many as he needs to.
Hmm. I mean, somebody said yesterday to me that Sam Jones is struggling to climb out of Eddie Hill's arsehole. Well, he will do when he's got Bellew in there, Bombay Dave, Coogan, Puppy Parsons, and he's got all that lot hanging out at back of Eddie's arsehole. But I just don't know. Do you think he can get any more cock in his mouth, Sam Jones? Just asking. Just asking. Sam Jones, you cocksucker. What do you think?
I don't like him. I think he's a complete tosser.
Sam, you heard it yourself. I mean, he looks like a Cub Scout, doesn't he, really, with all that Botox? But hey ho, let's have a look. Right, we'll finish off on this one for part two. Then I need to go for a piss. Spotty Frank, we know he's hammered Frotch, but when Eddie bows out, do you think they'll leave him in charge at Matchroom? Or do you think he'll bow out as well with Eddie Hills? Hills!
Okay, so you've got a multi-million pound company, multi-billion pound company, right?
Yeah, I don't know about billion, but yeah, go on.
Well, you look at the assets they have with the darts, which is huge commercially. The snooker is pretty big at the minute. And then you've got the boxing, right? So that's a lot of money, Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, tell me about
Right,
it.
right. Tell me something. I'll give you an analogy, right? So you have a really, really big car lot that you're selling top of the range products.
What,
Audi.
995 and on your drive, like my old one in Denby?
Well, what type of top end cars? BMW, Audi, Mercedes, right? So you've got these top end cars. You're making a fortune. Like you're selling all these cars.
Hmm.
Then you've brought somebody in, some guy in to clean the cars, right? Clean the cars, give the wheels a tidy up and all, and give it a brush up and a hoover.
Well, you
And
have
you're
to
going to
do that every
retire.
day, don't you? If you want to sell your cars,
Yeah.
you've got to be clean
So
on
so
yourself.
so you've got some guy that's just cleaning the cars and tidying them up, hoovering them, and you're deciding to retire. Are you going to give him that multi-million pound business?
No, because the way I look at it is this, right? No matter what promoters tell you or what title they tell you or whatever, he can go run into Eddie and say, "Oh, we can make this fight, we can make that fight." If Eddie don't feel it, he signs off on it and he'll go yay or nay. And it's just same with Dennis or anybody else. There's no, all these matchmakers, all these people that are running around getting people to sign contracts. They're just tools for the promoter. The promoter rules the rules. He don't rule the rules. He don't make decisions without going through any hills. And that's just how it is because it's not his money. It's Matchroom's money. You see where I'm coming from? So all these chief executive titles and what's the other one? Rising Star and all that shit. It's a load of shit. It's a load of people chatting a load of shit. He's the whipping boy. He's the tea boy, just like I were at Big Ron's, and that's it. You know your place. You just want to be involved if you love the sport. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't see him being respected because I look at him as a Cub Scout like Adrian Mole. Nobody's respected Adrian Mole. That's why he's done at Sky. And we'll go over to that now on part three. Can we give it? What time is it now? 9:58. Do you want to give it about 10, Kent, and we'll wrap it up on part three, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go drain the main vein. All right, I'll see you on part three. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. We're joined by Kent, a long-term pal of mine, and he's been coming on here for years on Porky's Corner. He's not one of them that comes on at this late stage, like that channel's got a bit of momentum. But listen, you can easily have no momentum in this game. All right, so we have to make most of it while we can because everybody tried to cut my legs off for nearly 8 years. I was still here. Pop, pop, bang. If anybody wants to come on here on Porky's Corner, it's simple. Bottom corner. Is that one? PorkyCorner@mail.com. Let's have a Zoom. We even have trolls on, but you don't click on your links, do you? So, all right. So, any trolls are welcome. The Ruperts, the Collins, or wherever you're called, you're welcome on here, but you got to show your face. And remember, it's me asking the questions, not you. All right, because too many come on here and you think they're asking the questions. That's why they don't get on again. Well, pop, pop, bang. Well, peace out. See you on part three with my chum Kent. I might even put Kent's bins on actually, just to make myself look like Kent. What do you think? Hey? Kent can have a laugh, can't he? Go on, booyaka. Big shout out to Rick Manners. Hope you're well, Rick. Keep them comments coming. Whoa.